There's something special about Corvettes. Maybe it's the long history, maybe it's the way they look, or the sound of that V8 under the hood. But for a lot of gearheads, a Corvette isn't just a car. It's a canvas, a starting point, something to be pushed way beyond factory limits. Today, we're diving into the wildest Corvette builds ever made. These aren't your average sports cars. These are full-blown monsters, ripped apart, rebuilt, and tuned with one goal in mind: to break necks both literally and figuratively. Let's start with one of the most extreme examples out there. This is the C3 base Death Cart Corvette. Yep, it's exactly what it sounds like. A chopped-up C3 Corvette, stripped down to its bare bones, no roof, no doors, and barely any body panels left. It looks like something straight out of Mad Max. Built by YouTuber Rich Rebuilds, this thing was created from a salvaged car that probably should have been scrapped. But instead of restoring it, they went full chaos mode. Roll cage, wide tires, a raked stance, and a big V8 still sitting in the front. It's raw, loud, and dangerous. But it runs, and honestly, it looks like a total blast to drive. Let's cool down a bit with something more refined, but still absolutely insane. This is the Corvette ZR1 Hennessy HPE 1200. Based on the C7 ZR1, this build takes things to a whole new level. From the factory, the ZR1 is already a beast with 755 horsepower, but Hennessy decided that wasn't enough. They tore down the engine, rebuilt it with forged internals, upgraded the supercharger, added a massive intercooler, and tuned the heck out of it. The result? 1,200 horsepower. That's hypercar territory, and it's still street legal. It looks like a Corvette. It drives like a Corvette, but when you put your foot down, it takes off like a missile. 0 to 60 in under 2.3 seconds, and it'll do the quarter mile in less than 10. This is one of those builds where everything is clean, purposeful, and terrifyingly fast. Next, let's talk about something called the Corvette Mud Bogger. Yep, someone actually took a C4 Corvette and lifted it up on huge off-road tires, complete with a suspension lift, skid plates, and a whole new drivetrain. It looks like a monster truck had a baby with a Corvette. The builder wanted to create something that could tear through mud and backwoods trails while still looking like a classic sports car. It's not fast on pavement, but in the mud, this thing rips. It's not a build for everyone, but it proves just how far people will go to stand out. Another wild one is the twin-engine Corvette. This one's not a myth, it's real. A guy in California built a C4 Corvette with two V8 engines. The engines are synced to work together, giving the car all-wheel drive and around 1,400 horsepower combined. It's a crazy engineering challenge, trying to get two separate engines to work in sync, especially when they're powering different axles. But somehow it works. The builder says it handles like nothing else he's driven. And the sound? It's like two muscle cars going full throttle at once. Now let's move to something built for the drag strip, the Larry Larson C5 Corvette. This is a full-on drag build with a twin turbocharged big block V8. We're talking over 3,000 horsepower on race fuel. It looks like a C5 Corvette, but the body is all fiberglass. Underneath, pure race car, tube chassis, racing suspension, massive slicks in the back, and a parachute just to slow it down. This car is capable of running the quarter mile in the 5-second range, which is quicker than most professional drag cars. It's one of those builds where the only thing Corvette about it is the shape, but that's what makes it awesome. Let's throw in something vintage, the split-window C2 Corvette Pro Touring build. This one mixes old-school looks with modern performance. The builder took a classic 1963 split-window coupe and rebuilt it from the ground up. Under the hood, an LS7 engine putting out 700-plus horsepower. The chassis was swapped for a modern setup, complete with coilovers, big brakes, and a full roll cage. Inside, it's got leather, touchscreen controls, and digital gauges. It's a resto-mod done right, blending classic design with modern tech and performance. It's not the flashiest build here, but it's clean, fast, and incredibly well put together. And if you thought people couldn't get any crazier, someone built a Corvette boat. Not a Corvette that looks like a boat, a real boat with the front end of a C4 Corvette molded into it. The boat has twin jet engines and can hit over 100 miles per hour on water. It was made by a Florida builder who wanted something totally unique for offshore racing. It's not technically a car, but it's based on Corvette styling, and it turns heads like nothing else. On the water, it slices through waves while looking like it should be on asphalt. It's one of the most unexpected uses of a Corvette shell, but somehow it works. Things are only getting crazier from here. Corvette builds aren't just about speed or looks, it's about creativity. It's about taking a car that already has muscle and then saying, what if we made it even more ridiculous? Now let's talk about the Formula Drift C6 Corvette, built by professional drifter Matt Field. This isn't a backyard project. This car competes on the world stage. It started as a regular C6, but now it's a full-blown drift weapon. Under the hood is a 1,000 horsepower LS motor, built for high revving, tire shredding action. The suspension is completely reworked, with crazy steering angle mods so the car can slide sideways at insane speeds. It's got a wide body kit, massive rear wing, and everything built for one purpose: style and control in total chaos. Watching this Corvette drift around corners with smoke pouring off the tires is nothing short of art. Let's go even crazier. How about the twin-turbo AWD Corvette? This build started as a C7 Stingray. Then the builder added two massive turbos to the rear-mounted exhaust, pushing the output to well over 1,300 horsepower. But that's not all. They also converted it to all-wheel drive using parts from a Nissan GT-R in a custom transmission setup. The result is a Corvette that can launch harder than just about anything else on the road. It's got grip, it's got power, and it still looks stock until it screams past you. Now here's a build that's just plain funny: the Corvette Limousine. This stretched C6 Vette was modified to carry up to 6 passengers, complete with rear seating, a bar, and custom lighting. It's one of those builds that doesn't really make sense, but still makes you smile. Someone really looked at a Corvette and said, what if I could take all my friends for a ride? And then made it happen. We've also got to mention the wide-body C8 by Pandem. Now the C8 Corvette is already aggressive looking. Mid-engine, low stance, supercar vibes. But once Pandem got their hands on it, they took it to another level. Their wide-body kit adds huge flares, deep side skirts, and a race-style front and rear bumper setup. The car is slammed to the ground, usually on air suspension, and paired with massive wheels and tires. It's not just for looks either. These wide-body C8s often come with power upgrades too. Superchargers, exhaust mods, and aero tweaks to keep it stable at high speed. It's a newer build trend, but it's growing fast. Next up is something for the apocalypse: the Corvette Rat Rod build. This one was built out of scrap metal, with a rusted-out C3 body, exposed welds, and a brutal-looking stance. It has a supercharged V8 sticking out of the hood and no real creature comforts inside. Just bare metal, custom gauges, and a steering wheel. It's the kind of car you'd imagine tearing through a desert wasteland, chasing down old muscle cars in a survival movie. It's loud, it's ugly, and that's exactly the point. Here's another wild Corvette build: the off-road C7 Corvette by Mike Motti. This one's not a joke. It's a real C7 Corvette that was turned into a full-blown off-road machine. A guy named Mike Motti took a wrecked Corvette that was missing its front end, and instead of fixing it the usual way, he went wild with it. He added huge off-road tires, a full roll cage, bright LED lights, and even mounted gear on the roof. The doors were removed, and it got a rugged, lifted stance that makes it look like it came out of a Mad Max movie. Even though the engine is mostly stock, it's built to handle dirt trails, rocks, and rough terrain. And yes, it's totally street legal and fully functional. It might look crazy, but it's 100% real, and it shows how far people will go to make a Corvette stand out. And here's a totally different kind of wild: the C4 electric Corvette swap. One builder stripped out the original drivetrain and replaced it with an electric motor and battery pack from a Tesla. The result is a totally silent Corvette with instant torque, zero emissions, and a smooth ride. It's not as loud or dramatic as some of the other builds, but it's just as cool. And it shows that even muscle car guys are starting to look at electric swaps as the future. The builder kept the original look of the C4, so from the outside, you'd never know it's electric. So what do all these builds have in common? They're not just cars, they're expressions. Each one tells a different story of passion, of skill, of a builder who didn't want to settle for ordinary. Whether it's a mid-engine classic or a boat with a Corvette nose, they all start from the same place and end up somewhere completely unexpected. Corvettes might come from the factory ready to perform, but once they get into the hands of builders, artists, and mad scientists, that's when things really get interesting. And honestly, we hope they never stop. And there you have it, some of the wildest, weirdest, and most creative Corvette builds to ever hit the streets, the tracks, the mud, and even the water. It's easy to think of a Corvette as just a fast car from Chevy, but what you've seen today proves it's way more than that. It's a platform, a playground, a way for builders to let their imagination run wild. Whether it's doubling the engines, swapping in jet turbines, or turning it into a limo, the Corvette community keeps pushing the envelope, sometimes in ways that make no sense, but always with passion. What's even crazier, this is just a small slice of what's out there. Every year, new builds pop up, faster, louder, and more insane than the last. And if there's one thing we've learned, it's that there's no limit to what a Corvette can become. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and hit that subscribe button.